The girl you see right now is a real-life goddess. I am not kidding. Thousands of people in her country worship her. And I know what you're thinking. How did this 3-year-old become a goddess? Well, before I tell you about Trishna Shakya, let's see if you can guess which country is she from. It is the oldest country in South Asia, the only country in the world that has a non-rectangular national flag, a country that was never colonized by any other country in the world. So, is it Bangladesh, Pakistan, Nepal, the Maldives? If you guessed Nepal, you were right. Because Nepal is the only country where living goddesses called Kumari are found. Like Trishna, the most important among the 12 Kumaris. These goddesses live a very unique kind of life because they are not seen as mortal. They can't talk to anyone except their families. They can only eat certain kind of food. They can only wear red. They have to live inside the Kumari temple until the end of the reign. There are only 13 times in a year they can go outside. And the craziest part is that their feet cannot touch the ground, so they have to be carried all the time. Every day the Kumari is worshipped by hundreds of people who bring her lots of gifts. It's hard to believe this is true. I mean, what does a 3-year-old know about being a goddess? Well, for hundreds of years the Nepalese believed that Kumari is the reincarnation of the Hindu goddess called Durga. These girls are volunteered by their families to a type of audition where priests choose who the next Kumari will be. And it's almost impossible to become one. See, that girl has to have 32 characteristics of physical perfection. Flawless skin, black eyes, black hair, high forehead, thighs like those of a deer, and many, many more. On top of that, the future goddess has to undergo a crazy test. She will be put inside a room where 108 buffalo heads are laid out in sea of blood, with men wearing scary masks dancing around, all to scare her. If that young girl gets scared or even cries a little bit, she is automatically disqualified. But if in all of this she doesn't show any sign of fear, it only means her life is going to change because she just become a goddess, like this woman who was a former royal Kumari.
I feel that I am a goddess in the time period Kumari. I have some power, but that power is not explainable.
And there is only one thing that can stop them from being a goddess: puberty. When the Kumari starts having her period, she becomes mortal again.
Maybe around 11 years old, I had my first period. All the world turning upside down for me.
The morning you were worshipped as a goddess, and next day it's not.
And at that moment, just imagine getting back to normal life. The goddess was literally being carried all the time. She haven't walked for years.
After retired from the Kumari house, I am little bit uncomfortable to walk in the road.
Coming back to regular life for these girls must be very tough. However, there is one woman who has been a Kumari for more than 60 years because she never had her period, and she was replaced only because she was becoming too old. Wow. Many people probably think that this tradition is quite strange. In fact, some people in Nepal have protested against this because they believe this is against the human rights of young girls. But it is a tradition that the Nepalese have believed in for hundreds of years. A tradition that allows them to interact with a goddess. And so with all of this in mind, whether you're Muslim, Christian, Hindu, atheist or anything else, let me ask you a question. Nightfam, what do you think about the child goddesses of Nepal?